Hello and welcome to Windmill Lakes in France. Myself and Ethan have been invited down here to do a video blog for the lakes themselves. So we have got two lakes on the complex. In front of us is a fantastic out and out specimen lake with carp that have just gone over the 50-pound mark, and some fantastic, lots and lots of fish in there, 30-40 pound mark. And then behind us then we've got the catfish lake. Lots of doubles, they do go up to over 30 pounds in there, and then catfish up to 94-95 pound around the area. We have been fishing on the back lake as well, on the zigs, lots and lots of action. And I said the guys that are down here as well, because obviously it's a two-part lake, because you've got the front lake and the back lake. John, Arthur and Bernie, they're down at the other end of the lake, and we've sort of been alternating between back and forth, who's fishing where. We have had a day on the front lake, and Ethan's had a bit of success, mate. Yeah,
not too bad. Yeah, kick-started my account with a little 17-pounder. Well, there we go. First one of the trip to France for me and John. As you can see, it's only a small one, but they always start small and end up a lot bigger. Taking over some of the cream crunch boilies. Favourite hinge stiff rig again, banana rama, and yeah, very happy with that one. It's only our first morning in France. Nice wake up call, interrupted our cup of coffee, but who cares, happy days, we're off the mark. So anyway, we're going to slip this one back, and maybe we'll have another one just before breakfast. Just sorting the rig, ready to put the rig back up. The middle rod went off, but unfortunately lost that one. And then yeah, had a bit of a result on the third one. On the third rod, he had a 41 as well. So, well, folks, we're here at Windmill Lake in France. Second morning. I'll have a look at this bad boy. 41 pound. Over 2 kilos of the cream crunch steamies. The ever faithful, ever present, ever loving hinge stiff rig. And this one fell to the old white KK. Over the moon. I'm just so happy I can share this moment with John. And what a fishery in France. Waking up coming on the second morning, catch a 40-pounder, and it looks as good as this. Oh, thrilled to bits. Anyway, I'm gonna have to put it down, and then we're gonna get some stills, and we're gonna slip it back, and we're gonna get up there and have some breakfast. Get in! Not quite the PB, my PB's 44, there's fish in here that can do that, so like I said a couple of weeks ago I'd done his first 50 as well, so they're piling on the weight here as well. They're just on the fringe of spawning as well, so they're massive, these fish are at the moment. So yeah, we're going to keep the bait trickling in. We'll show you on the lake a little bit later on what we've been doing, and we'll show some of the facilities as well that's in the area as well, because we've got some fantastic facilities, wonderful food package as well. Like I said, the food has been absolutely outstanding at the moment. The breakfast we had just filled us up all day really. So yeah, we'll flip back and forth between the two lakes, and hopefully give you a better idea of what Windmill Lake has to offer. Well, I say this is a sort of promotional video for the lakes, but as I say, when you see the actual stunning scenery and what we've got to offer, that sells itself really. We're about 4.5 hours south of Calais. Made the journey yesterday on a late night ferry over, and then trundled down in the car. So I mean, you get the weather as well as the fantastic fishing. So what we'll do, as I said, is this is going to be a whole week account condensed into a video for you guys, and so we'll catch you very, very soon. Well, there's another one for the morning feeding spell. Another 40 as well, can you believe? Again, taking on the cream crunch, the evolution, pink maggot tipper. They're loving that combination at the moment. This was part of a double take, which unfortunately the other one got into the island and straightened me out. But anyway, we'll settle for second prize. Over the moon again. Another big French beast. Anyway, let's get this one back. Better get a bit more bait out, because it looks like they've been feeding well last night and this morning, so probably ate all the bait, so let's get some more out there. Well, good morning again from France. Here's another little stunner. £30 on the nose, this one. But anyway, this is immaterial to what we had last night. It all kicked off with John having a massive grass carp. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Put this way, the unhooking mat I'm to hold this fish above is not small, and it was dwarfing this unhooking mat. And it went £40. A £40 grass carp. Played it all into the bank, John did, and literally did nothing. He said to me, it's probably a low double, probably a 20. And put it in the net, and then all hell broke loose. Kicked off in the net, nearly dragged me in. And John's not a small lad, and he struggled to pick it up. So when we get this fish back, we'll show you the pictures of that one. And then not long after that, then my rod ripped off, and I had a grassy as well. I had a £30 grass carp as well. So it's just a £70 of grass carp. And then we had this little one this morning. So happy days. They're still feeding, and we're loving it. Anyway, let's get some stills of this one, and let's continue on our French adventure.
Well, there we are. After another night's fantastic sleep, the fish seem to let you have a kip here, and then you get this little feeding spell sort of between 7 and breakfast time at 10. I don't know if this one knew it was hooked, to be honest, to start with. Few little tweaks, got over the top of the rod, watched it click forward 2, and I thought I'm not hitting this until it starts moving. Clicked another 2 and had to hit it. £31 on the nose. Quasimodo, the good old hunt, there's plenty of movement left in these fish. They are growers. They said the one Ethan had yesterday, I think was at £35 sort of 18 months ago. So they're putting on good chunks of weight, and all naturally fed on in the lakes. So yet again, another cracker from Windmill. We're going to slip her back, get some stills, and carry on. Hopefully I've opened my account now. Hopefully there's a lot more to come. So happy, really happy, and well, on with the holiday, on with the good times.
How about this for a French cracker? Just after John just had his 30, we just had a celebrated cup of coffee, and lo and behold, my rod just absolutely fizzled away. And typical French fish, massive gut, absolutely loving the boilies, this one. And this one was caught on a cream crunch, tipped off with the old Evolution maggot tipper, and she was nailed, absolutely nailed. And I tell you what, these French fish ain't half well behaved as well. I think the old English and Welsh fish need to take a leaf out of their book. Smile for the cameras and get it back to the watery home. Get in there, Team Catch 'em, at least doing it again.
Right then, so we're going to very quickly go through sort of, this is on the Specimen Lake swims. What they've done is said Dave and Sue have really not pandered to anyone's sort of requests, and sort of made something really designated as a swim. It's left natural. You've got the irises and you've got the reeds and everything all around you. There are some flatter areas obviously to get your sticks in. So you're looking at sort of 3 or 4 on this bank that's got the chalet on. We've put ourselves right at the end because, as I said, the guys that have actually got the lake booked up are all down on the chalet end. And we've got ourselves into this lovely little bay. Plenty of room for 6 rods, 2 bivvies behind us, so we've got plenty of room and occupying quite a nice sort of 3/4 of an acre of water to ourselves. So there's plenty of water available where what size group you come down in. And Ethan, you can say, what do you reckon for the swim, the way that it's done?
I think it's absolutely brilliant. You know, it's a lot of a lot of fisheries in France at the moment. They've been catering for the sort of commercial type of carp fishing. You know, you're looking at, there's a lot of swims on a lot of lakes. They're all close together. You know, it's just spoiling nature really. And as we come to the lake, well, the first thing we said to each other, where do you fish? And Dave said, well, you can fish wherever you like, just find a flat bit of grass, you know, wherever you're happy, and start fishing. So like John said, the lake caters for I'd say 4 comfortably really, and you've got your own little bit of water at the same time as well then. But like I said, the way the swim's laid out, it's lovely for stalking. You know, you just have a little wander around with 1 or 2 rods, and then just when you come back to the night, then just pick your swim and just get those rods out. But one thing we will say is get on the bait, because they do love a drop of bait in here.
Good morning, there we are. £30 on the nose, part 1 of 2 in the net. from a very busy morning's action. I'm going to lay her down in a second because she's so tense she's going to probably kick out my hands. But absolutely over the moon. I said I have had a bit of a poolie on, I will be honest. I have had a sulk because I was just getting battered by a far, far superior angler. But I say we've got this one now, and then a slightly bigger one. 30 pound on the nose, as I said. Really angry. But what a beautiful, beautiful fish. Dark colours. S2T, no, pardon me, it wasn't. It was a KK Steamy with the Evolution pink corn on top. So get some stills, get her back. Number 2 of my breakfast wake up call. 36 pounds and 12 ounces. Just shy of my PB. But what a beautiful fish. Really slate grey, sort of row of scales across the top. Yet again, we keep saying it, but it's the KK. This one with a maggot topper. It's the pink that seems to be doing the damage, we really think. Because the water is sort of a chocolate milkshake colour, the pink's such a high-vis colour that they're picking that out first. What an absolute brute. Slate grey, deep, dark, and beautiful, with a big old rudder to match it up. That's on the sny rod up the left-hand side that I moved off of the 2 spots. And that's produced both the fish for me. So a little bit more bait's going to go in there. We'll carry on fishing through the breakfast bite time. Happy days. Well, good morning, and about time you see me bent into a fish. So I did have a really good morning. Oh crap. This was savagely dropped back and started to pick up. It's shown itself a few times, but right out in the lakes was hard to tell. It's not happy that it's been hooked, let me tell you. Heart is in the throat, and legs are a bit quibbly, to be honest, because it just absolutely kited. And as you can see, it's putting a solid bend in the rod. And I've just seen the shoulders, and it's quite chunky. Oh my Jeffrey. Oh. I really just want this one in the net, to be honest. Moving a lot of water and clicking off a really tight line. Right, so I'm going to get Ethan to man the net for me. Well, only a matter of time. New PB for me. £39 4 ounces, as I said, just so close to that magical 40. A really pretty two-tone. Yes, they're French, but by God, they've put up a beautiful, beautiful fight. As I said, I just wanted this one in the net. I saw its head lunk out. I had a sneaky suspicion it might be. Massive, massive rudder on her, and a big old chunky up front character. Two-tone, really pretty, really happy. Loving the KK maggot topper on a spot that me and Ethan are now sharing. It's absolutely doing fish every single day between 7 and 9. You can set your alarms by them. So just short, well, over £100 of fish now for me this morning, including the grassy. So about time my trip started happening. Excellent, happy days, let's get her back.
And this is why we won the carp nick for, folks. Arthur's PB. 62 pound catfish. Look at that. He was carp fishing and it took a little tiny pellet. What are you going to say to that, Arthur?
Well, even the hook was small. I think it was about A 12 hook.
Put me off. Look at me.
Oh, I tell ya.
Unbelievable.
We knew it was a cat, but I didn't know it was this big. It went from one side of the lake to the other in seconds. And I had a 15-pound line on, 2.5 test curve, and these boys have helped me bring it in.
And it beat you up all the way in, well done. Well done.
I thought it was going to go in the snags, but we got the boys out to help us and they guided us with this monster. It's absolutely cracking.
That's what team catch and release do.
Yeah, if I don't catch another fish, it doesn't matter. Yes, John. Yeah, that is my personal best. That's going to be hard to beat, isn't it? But we've got another couple of days on this lake, and who knows? Who knows?
Brilliant. Anyway, let's slip it back.
Right, no sooner have I put the 30 back, that Ethan's rod, that's just off of where I had the 30 to be honest, on a baited rig, is absolutely peeled off, and Ethan feels weight. What do you say, mate?
It feels big, but they all do once you haven't caught one for a while, but it's just moving, there's no head shakes, it's just doing what it wants to do, and it's actually just towing me around the lake at the moment.
I say we have been applying a good solid amount of bait, keeping it going in very traditional French style before breakfast, before dinner. We have had the rods out the water quite a lot as well, obviously because we've been filming for the lakes themselves. So yeah, it's paying off, you know. I say baiting and resting swims, it's a fantastic way to keep fish moving in, because we are only in a very end bit of the bay, with a massive thanks to Arthur and John for letting us come in here. But I say we've got 6 rods in what would be a 3-rod area. So we'll keep up with the action on here. I'm going to jump onto the net and get this bad boy in for us.
Well, after a very quiet couple of days for me now, finally gone and bagged one. Off a new spot. But the same bait, they're loving the bait. Couple of grassies in the night for me and John. Keep us on our toes. And then we had this 33 this morning. Get in there, keep them coming. Couple more days to go. Let's have it.
I'll give you a guess what time it's between. That's right, between 7 and 9 o'clock. And off the rod rips again. 30 pounds an ounces off the new spot. Give it a little bit of bait last night on all of our spots, because as I said, the bites slowed down a bit yesterday. So we filled them in, and this pig is absolutely torn off. Fins covered in silt, so we know that they're sort of guts deep right in the filth feeding. So really happy. Pinged off of the fin about 1,000 times, and after yesterday's loss, it was just one I wanted to get in the net. So over the moon with this one. The bites continue, the fish continue, continue catching. Happy days. We'll slip her back and get on with the rest of the bite time. What a way to end our adventure down at Windmill. Myself and Ethan had a fantastic time. Dave and Sue really looked after us. Bit of a teamwork carp. This was on a spot that I tried last night, but the call of nature had to call, and I had to do the two-toed dance up to the toilets, and it ripped off literally as I was halfway up there. Ethan tries to get me back, but he manned it in, so we're going to take a sort of teamwork effort on this one. But a great time you've had, mate.
I've had a brilliant time, John. I can't wait to get back, really. You know, we've had a fantastic time, loads of big fish, and lots of good memories as well. Great company, great food, what a place.
Excellent. So as I said, all the details we'll put up at Windmill, and hopefully, as I said, you can enjoy this blog, enjoy this video, and maybe get yourselves down to Windmill. Thanks a lot, guys.